Do you think Palestine is being treated unfairly right now?
Yes, because it's not fair that Israel gets to bomb and act like they're innocent, even though Palestine, the only thing they have to defend themselves is rocks and sticks that they can find. They have no source of weapons, or the only source of weapons that they do have is what they can try to build.
Okay. And if the places were reversed, how do you think Israel will feel?
I think Israel will feel very, weak and very protective over their land. But considering that Israel has taken, Israel has taken way more than half of Palestine's land. That all Palestine has, their population is less than 20% of what their own country used to be. So, yeah.
How do you think we could tell people about what's happening?
Well, one, this film, and you can tell friends and family, or do another film or something similar like that, and that would really help. And you can do fundraisers like we're doing on Saturday. And basically anything to bring awareness to people.
So Sarah, what do you feel about Palestine?
Right now, I think it's really unfair that Israel's just bombing Palestine for land. Like how we first came to America and we just wanted land from the Native Americans because we wanted more and more. Just like Israel. Even not just the military in Israel, but also just people are going over to Palestine and beating up people on the streets, which is not fair, because if we switch the places, then Israel would be super bombed and Palestine would be bombing Israel. So I don't think Israel would like that at all. So they should think about other people and just be considerate. Maybe they could share land or come with an agreement, because this just isn't fair. Okay, so how do you feel about what's happening in Palestine right now?
I think it's really unfair because the Israel are bombing the Palestinians, and it's been happening for many years and many times, and I think it's really unfair, and I think it's they're really sad, and they're killing people on the street and putting men in jail. And for a school project, I interviewed my grandparents to understand what they went through as kids when their homes were taken away. This is what's happening to the people in Palestine right now. I hope this does not happen again to Palestinians ever again, because it has been happening for many years. And I probably feel really sad and when we make some money from the thing that we're selling paintings, and we get money, and we'll donate to them. Okay.
So because of Palestine, people are raising awareness and protesting and signing petitions and saying something and using their voice. But I know sometimes it could be really hard to use your voice and say something. We all think if we see someone bullying another kid, we all think, oh yeah, I'm gonna say something and not be afraid and stand up. But really, if we actually saw that, we would probably be very scared and say nothing. So I know it's scary, but we really have to speak up and use our voice and raise awareness.
Well, I think it's unfair, and that it's just history repeating over and over again. And just in the beginning, Christopher Columbus stole land from the natives. Now we're living on their land while they're having trouble living. And then the Holocaust, where Hitler started to kill Jews for being Jews. And now Palestine versus Israel because it just wants land to grow its population, and it doesn't like Palestine. And Palestine helped them. They let them live there, and then they just took it. And then there's only about 22% of Palestine left. Israel took the rest. And it's just unfair. And I bet if Israel was being bombed by Palestine or some other place, they'll probably not like it. They'll probably want it to stop. They'll probably have some trouble living. And it's just not fair.
Mm-hmm. How do you think is a good idea to move forward? Moving forward.
Because some people don't even know about this. And the news is saying it's all good and that they did a temporary truce, but none of that is really real. And then when Palestine ever tries to fight back, Israel just doesn't let them. And it's not a fair game. It's not fair. And we can't be quiet about this because we're just one big family. It's like hurting your brothers and sisters.
So part of moving forward is speaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And what else for your kids or your kids' kids to learn from history? How would you want your kids' kids to act?
That none of this will solve nothing. War can't solve anything. Since when has war brought anything good besides death and battle and blood? And it's bad. And the Civil War, it had the most deaths out of any wars. And it's just terrible. And I just wouldn't want my kids to think that war will solve anything.